Hello viewers and welcome back to episode 7 of Saving Southend with me, Bearlenation. Today join me for the Scunthorpe game, and we've had a postponement of the Harrogate game, so we will today be playing Carlisle instead. We played 8 games since we last met in yesterday's episode. Run the intro and let's get into it. And here we are then, viewers. So we met in yesterday's episode and beat Walsall 2-0 in a really good performance. We then followed that up against top of the table Cambridge and lost 2-0. We then beat Bolton 2-1 in 2-0 rather, in a really good performance once again. Followed that up comfortably with a 2-1 loss to Forest Green, where Lundulu scored his first goal for the club, and it was an absolute peach of a strike. It could go for in any push gas category. So let's have a quick look at it. So here it is, ball in from Canipriu, headed on by Pochettino, off the bar, and then straight into his path again, and he just taps it home. Good bit of play there. And Dulu heads it onto the bar, and it falls right at his feet, and he just taps it home. Wonderful, wonderful goal. As I said, could grace any push gas award, that finish. After that, we had a really good performance against Salford, where we won 1-0. And then we've hit a little bit of a rocky road where we lost 2 games on the trot 2-0 to Cheltenham and Oldham, and we followed that with 2 draws against Tranmere and Stevenage, where we drew 1-1 and 2-2. Both home games, so it's not too bad. I'm glad we haven't lost, but I mean, I wish we'd have just picked up some 3 points, which were needed. But we really need to pick up some 3 points today against Scunthorpe away. They are currently 5th in the table, so it will be a difficult game for us. We go into this game currently sitting 17th in the table on 43 points. So 2 wins today would take us on to 49th and right back up into those mid-table places. As I said, Scunthorpe are currently sitting 5th in the table on 59 points. It's going to be a tough game for us, and I'm confident in the Carlisle game more than I am in the Scunthorpe game, as they are sitting 23rd at the moment. If there's a game we need to pick up points in, it is against Carlisle. Let's get straight into this Scunthorpe game. And here we are then. Lundulu is on international duty with England under 21s. Pochettino and Bowden both have injuries today, so miss out. Nathan Ralph as well, as you can see, he's got a pre-arranged transfer. He's going to Queen's Park on the start of July. We did try and offer him a contract, but he wanted nearly £3,000 a week, which seemed an awful lot of money for a League 2 player. So we couldn't compete with him financially, so he has got himself a move to Queen's Park. The starting 11 is Oxley in goal, Ralph at left back, Bruce and White in the centre with Bawomo on the right, Dieng in the defensive midfield, Olinaka and Guard in the middle, Nathaniel George on the left, Carvajalo on the right, and Goodship is back in the starting lineup, leading that line for us. A little bit nervous about today's game, especially with Scunthorpe being so high and us being so low, but if we can draw, I think that's a really good point and takes us nicely into that Carlisle game where we are looking at picking up the point. Tell the boys we are the underdogs, and to go out there and make the difference for us. And here we are then, kicking off at Glanford Park. We are looking, as I said, to pick up at least a point today. A point would give us just a good impetus into that Carlisle game, and I mean, we would go 5 without a win, but I think 3 draws in a row makes that sound worse than what it actually is. As Scunthorpe come forward now on this right-hand side early on, and a good save by Oxley, and Alex Bruce hoofs it over the stand here at Glanford Park, and it goes out for a Scunthorpe corner. We'll get the team instruction on, ready for the boys from the assistant manager, and Carvajalo has upended the Scunthorpe play, and it goes out for an early free kick. We've both had a shot apiece, which is good to see already. 15 minutes in, nothing really to note other than that first highlight. Staying pretty much the same. We've had more shots than Scunthorpe, but although we haven't now. It's really, really quiet though, this first opening 30 minutes. We will be going up to 18th in the table at the moment. And Carvajalo's suffered a sprained wrist, but I'm sure we'll be able to keep him on because I don't think that'll affect him too much here. Scunthorpe ball in and it's 1-0. John McAtee with his 4th goal of the season. We've not dealt with that running at all. He's got free from our defence. And that is a really disappointing goal to concede. Let's just watch this again. He's just got in behind the defenders here. Here he is. And he's just lost his marker there, John White, and who's not really picked him up, and McAtee is in behind and makes it 1-0 to Scunthorpe. Deep free kick for them now just before half time. They're in again. Oh, it's 2-0. That's gone straight through everyone. that went straight through our defence, who just weren't switched on whatsoever. I mean, there's poor and then there's that. That was pretty poor there from us. We need to get in at half-time and give these boys a rocket. We've told the boys that we're very disappointed with what they've done in that first half. Scunthorpe have taken McAtee off at half-time, which is interesting that they've took their goal scorer off. And they've already had to make another change because of an injury in the 33rd minute, so they only have one left to make. An hour has come and gone in this game, so we will make our first sub. No one's having a standout game. Good ship. Well, we've not said anyone's name because we've not had a highlight. We'll bring Acquire on for good ship. Reese Brown can come on for Carlisle, who's having a really poor game. And we'll just leave it at the 2 subs for now. We'll get some advice onto that pitch. And we'll just try and we'll fire the boys up because they've been so poor so far. This is our first highlight. Olanaka with the corner and it's headed away. That is the first attacking highlight we've seen of the game, and it ends up with Scunthorpe coming forward, hitting us on the break. Can we get back and defend this? Hallam into Hipotley. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Either way, he's forced to save out of Oxley, who turns it round for a corner. 15 minutes to go, and we really need to book our ideas up here because we've not been in this game whatsoever. Maybe the defensive mentality was not what we needed to. I think we'll move it to a balanced approach. I think, to be fair, we went on defensive because we knew Scunthorpe were going to barrage forward, especially with them being so high up the table. But I mean, this is another level of poor. 10 minutes to go, make our final sub. I don't really think that anything will make too much of a difference here, but we'll bring guard off for Demetriou and just see if that can have any sort of positive impact on the game. Really quiet second half in comparison to the first half, where Scunthorpe scored 2 goals in 3 minutes. And other than that, they've just sat back and not really done a lot. And there it is. It's finished 2-0, viewers, in a really poor performance from us there. I think we'll thrash those arms about and tell the boys that we expect to see them in training tomorrow, and they seem motivated by that. And that result takes us to 18th in the table. Still a few points off mid-table, a little bit more comfortably. Carlisle have lost 4-1 to Stevenage today. There is a 2-week gap before we do play Carlisle though, because like I say, we've got the Harrogate game postponed due to international call-ups, so that gives us 2 weeks to get all the fitness in the squad back and maybe just get some confidence in training built up and a bit of team cohesion ready for that Carlisle game. Join me again in a minute and we will play that Carlisle game. And here we are then, back for the Carlisle game. All the internationals are now back. Everyone seems to have come through it unscathed, thankfully. So the starting 11 is Oxley in goal, Ralph at left back, Lennon and Bruce in the middle with Bawomo at right back, Demetriou at the base of the midfield with Olenaka and Bowden in midfield, Pochettino on that left-hand side, Carvajal on the right, and N. Lundulu leads that line for us once again. When you look, there isn't a lot of goals in and around the team. The highest goal scorer is Goodship with 12, but he's just not been that good for us, really. When we look at it, he's just not been the best, unfortunately. We have had a team meeting as well, which seemed to go quite well, and we just said to the boys that we need to just step up our game and turn this losing form around, because out of the last 5 games, we haven't won in 5, and we've lost 3 of those 5. And before it becomes a problem, we need to turn it around. Game is underway here at Roots Hall. Win today and it looks oh so much more comfortable in that league. We will go up to, well, we could go up to 17th, but it just opens up that a 10-point gap above Carlisle with 7 games to go. And I mean, I'm confident that we're not in any danger of going down anymore, but it would just be nice to pick up 3 points and just open that gap up even more than we already are doing. I mean, between us and 21st rather, there's a 7-point gap. So you would think that we shouldn't get sucked into too much of a relegation battle, but you just never know. It is 0-0 coming up to half time, and it's been a really quiet first half. Not a single highlight. And there we are. 0-0's here, and nothing's happened. Tell the boys that we are happy, because we're not really. We aren't happy with that at all. And say they've got the ability to go and make that difference for us. And go out there and just do it. I think we'll encourage the boys as well, just get that to start. Although the first half of the second half comes to Carlisle. We beat them 3-2 earlier in the season, in the first episode. Can we beat them again? Bruce, into Oxley now. We were 3-0 up in that game as well, in a game that we almost threw away again. Carvajal now. Not really been impressed with him since he came in. Pochettino on this left-hand side takes it down nice and neat. Fires the ball in and it's straight into the goalkeeper's hands. I was hoping he might try and square that ball for Landulu, but he's just not. And Pochettino had a go, and it's just been a little bit of a drab affair so far. We'll drop some more encouragement to the team, and they look motivated and fired up by that, which is good to see. 20 minutes to go, and we're going to make our first change of the game. And Landulu has done absolutely nothing in this game, so we'll bring Goodship on. We'll bring Nathaniel George on for Pochettino as well, who's not having a good game. So we'll just make a double sub with 20 minutes to go, and we'll fire the team up and see if that has a desired effect. Goodship latches onto a long goal kick. Goodship in the area, and he's challenged cleanly as well, and it's been won by Reece Bennett there, who now brings Carlisle forward into that midfield, and they're launching it forward, but Bruce deals with it. Nathaniel George into Lennon now. Ralph, who has picked up a knock, may have to bring him off so that doesn't affect him too much. We'll have to have a look at it is after that highlight. Good ball to Nathaniel George. Goodship! Oh, straight the goalkeeper. And Goodship has the second bite of the cherry. And he's denied by the woodwork. What? Ralph's got a potential foot injury, so we'll bring Sam Hart on because it's not worth Ralph potentially getting a worse injury than what he's already, well, what he could have there. This would be really disappointing if we lost or drew here. I think we're going to demand more out of the boys. Highlight for Carlisle, long ball down, which is returned. Nathaniel George picks it up though, cuts into the middle, tries to feed it out wide and doesn't, and Carlisle come forward. Lennon wins it back there nicely. Buomo into Carvajal, who's picked up a booking, back to Buomo, overlapping. Crosses a ball in. Goodship's there, Brandon Goodship, and it's just over the bar. Oh, come on. 3 minutes to go, and this has been a really, really drab affair. 0-0, viewers, and this has been quite the disappointing result, and there it is, 0-0. A game where I would have expected us to at least win. We picked up 1 point out of the 2 games, and I would have hoped the 1 point would have come from the last game against Scunthorpe, and 3 would have come here, but not to be. I mean, we've had a lot of shots, just not many on target, and we'll tell the boys we should have won that match. And that result leaves us 19th in the table with 8 games to go. Currently 8 points above Carlisle, who occupy that last relegation place. There's plenty more points to play for, but I'm confident that we aren't going down. I don't think we're going to make it into those playoffs at this point unless we go on some unbelievable run and the teams above us capitulate. We'll leave it there for today, viewers, and what we'll do is we'll come back for the Colchester and Leyton Orient games, and then we'll round off the season towards the end of the week. If you have enjoyed that, please don't forget to smash that like button for me, share the video around, subscribe to the channel for more content, turn your little notification bell on so you know when a video drops. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again for more next time.